It's playing.
Should have sound.
Okay, it's playing real time for my.
Give it about 10 seconds to show up on your phone.
Yeah.
So when I went to OBS, the volume for the microphones, for some reason the slider was all the way down.
Cause it's. Hold on. There is a 30-second lag. Okay, now we should be good. It's playing real time for my.
Give it about 10 seconds.
Should we turn the gain down?
Big echo.
Yeah.
So when I went to OBS, the volume for the microphones, for some reason the slider was all the way down.
Cause it's. Hold on. There is a 30-second lag.
We're going to see ourselves just looking at the phone.
Yeah, we should be good.
That sounds better.
Playing real time for my.
Give it about 10 seconds.
Should we turn the gain down?
Big echo.
So when I went to OBS,
Oh, I see.
volume for the microphones, for some reason the slider was all the way down.
Okay, so
So we're-
now what we should do is, since I have that paused,
Yep.
so we're going to talk normal.
Yeah, we'll talk for a
So it
bit.
doesn't-
So I'll go over my story again, because, so sorry about that, guys. The microphones were muted. But to catch you up, I hit a deer. I hit a 4-point deer Friday morning, 7:15 in the morning on my way to work, and crinkled my hood a little bit on my car, and it apparently did $2,200 worth of damage. That's what the insurance estimate was. So right now it's at the body shop, waiting to get their estimate on it. Called the guy this morning, said he might not be able to work on it until next Monday. But yeah, it's a tough situation. I've been learning how much of a privilege cars are.
For sure.
Yeah.
Is that your first accident?
Yeah. Well, the second accident I've been in driving. The first accident I've been in in my own car. So my first accident, my girlfriend in high school, I drove Dad's car to her house, and I was driving home, and I pulled off of her road onto the main road, and my passenger tires got stuck in a bunch of just brush on the side of the road, and it pulled me down into the ditch. I went into the ditch. So that was my first accident, but this one was the first in...
Oh, that was the Cobalt, right?
That was the Cobalt.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that was a 2007 Chevy Cobalt. Yep.
That thing ran for a long, long time.
That thing died at like 212,000 miles. I think it was a head gasket. Basically, it needed its coolant changed. It needed an oil change. And we just kept driving it around. And it overheated. And I was driving it when it died. Yeah. And the RPMs just went whoop down to 0, and I was coasting.
And that was it.
Usually...
Where were you?
Schumacher Pond Road.
Nice.
I was close to home, but not close enough.
Yeah.
You know.
Shit. Yeah, I don't know. The closest encounter that I had with a deer was in the Evo. And,
really?
Yeah, and it was on a back road in Monticello, on Rose Valley Road. And I saw it, and it jumped, and luckily, like, the Evo steering is, like, I was low to the ground, I had springs on it already.
Oh.
So, like, I quickly jabbed right, and it got instead of hitting the deer in the middle, like, it got the hip portion, like, the back hip portion. As I turned right, it kind of spinned it. It spinned it right around, didn't kill it, and it ran right off.
Wow.
And I got out, I checked the damage, there was no damage.
No damage?
Really
wow. Consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
It's crazy because just been driving around the past 2 weeks. There's been so many close encounters. And everybody...
They're out right now.
Oh, yeah. They're in their rut season.
Yeah.
But this one must have been in midair. You know, if you were to take a video of them and you paused it somewhere, all 4 legs would be off the ground.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the point I hit it because, like, my bumper really wasn't damaged all that much.
Was it dead?
No. I'm pretty sure it's going to die within a week, though. Pretty sure I broke some of its legs.
Well, no, you didn't.
Yeah, the car did.
The damn deer did.
Yeah.
It did it to itself. They're just... My dad always said they're like rats with long legs.
Yeah.
Like, they just have no concept of life. You know what I mean? It's like, the males go around. They hit trees with their with the antlers. The moms pop out the babies, and they just run around and eat and shit. And
that's funny.
It's literally what they do.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that, but yeah, you're right.
There's like, of course of course they're mammals, so they obviously have somewhat of emotion, but they're just so dumb.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I was having a conversation with someone at work about this, because I told them, I was like, yeah, my cousin just hit a buck, da 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 da, and it got me thinking, and I'm like, I bet genetically they are so fucked in like October, November, December that genetically something in them is like, we gotta fucking run around, we gotta keep moving, we can't sit still, you know what I mean? Because hunting season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and hunting season has been around for a long, long time. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if that's like passed down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just something that they do.
Especially the ones who survive, like, if they survive one winter, they survive 2 winters, they know it's coming. They're anticipating it. And yeah, just if, maybe it did get passed down in their genes somewhere along the lines.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But hey, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, he really did just run right out in the road.
There's nothing you could do.
No.
Yeah.
There really wasn't. I mean, I hit my brakes,
you woke up
but
that morning and you were like, you know what? This morning I'm gonna hit a deer.
Yeah, I know. It was just like the most inconvenient, unplanned thing ever. Yeah. And it was so surreal because after it happened, I'm like, wow, like I love this car. I can't believe it happened. But then I said, well, how am I going to get to work? How am I going to get around town and all this and that? And I saw him for about a full second before I hit him. I was going downhill, probably doing like 40, 45, and another car was coming. I was going downhill right before a bridge, and I saw the other car, and I'm like, all right, I have control of the car. I can go over the bridge at this speed. And I saw the car, and then I looked over, and there he was already jumping over the guardrail. And
and there was a guardrail too.
Yep.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
I just have no perception of like, hey, there's a big metal thing here.
I'm gonna jump over it.
You know what I mean? Like,
what's on the other side?
Exactly. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, what else can you freaking do?
I can't wait to get it back though.
Oh, that's your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
my buddy's been giving me rides to work in his WRX.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
And he was messing around on the way home yesterday, brake boosting, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I have withdrawal.
Yeah, once you get it back, you'll feel 100 times better. I didn't get into a major accident with the Evo, but I got into like a fender bender with the Civic. Some guy pulled out on a stop sign, didn't see me, and I slid right into the side of him. Same thing, like hood, front bumper, and like that estimate was like $2,000.
Wow.
And and it wasn't severe damage, and he was like, hey, can you go get a few other estimates? He thought I was like pulling his leg.
Wow.
And and I was like, sure, yeah. So every place I went to, like, they were more expensive than the original. Yeah, and he's like, all right, can you take it back to that first place? I was like, yeah, sure, I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to fuck you over, you know what I mean? But hey.
Yeah, I only went to this one guy. I mean, I could go to other places and get other estimates, but he's so close, and not like you're saying not to go to him. I'm just saying, I waited a few options, but I'm just gonna go to him. It's so convenient. And my sister took her car to him twice because she hit 2 deer in her old car. And did you ever hear how her old car went? How it died?
I don't remember.
So she was, I don't know if she was on her lunch break or for some reason she was going up Route 55 and somebody on 55 was selling a trailer, like an enclosed trailer. Something people put like their lawnmowers in and, different things. Somebody was selling that, and a pickup truck was pulled off to the side of the road looking at it. And she was doing the speed limit, and this guy came back on the road, no blinker, nothing. And her passenger side hit the back of his truck, and the front of her car, the car was totaled. Like, the front of it was just shot. And her airbag deployed, and not much on the truck, though. And
of course.
When it happened, she was yelling at him, and you didn't use your blinker, and he said he did. And apparently somebody was nearby and saw it, and they said, no, he didn't use his blinker. And then the state trooper showed up, and he admitted he didn't use his blinker.
Good.
So that car had 200,000 and like 5,000, 205,000 miles, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the white one.
Yep, white Scion.
Yeah.
And this kind of stuff, I don't know. Like, I've never been going over 20 and got into an accident. It really slows you down.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
I'm not even behind the wheel again, and I'm just like... So, we were at our grandma's birthday party the other day, and I drove Heather's car home, and there was a deer on 31.
Of course.
And I hit the brakes, and she's like, come on, not every deer's going to drive in front of the car. I'm like, I feel traumatized right
seriously,
now.
well, you don't know. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and I'm not driving my car. I'm driving your car, you know?
Dude, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Seltzer. Trust me. Coming from someone who crashed their significant other's car.
You
it's
did?
not fun. Yeah, bro.
Wait, hold on.
You hear the story? All right, folks, story time. Fun, I hope you're watching.
This is good.
So, shit. This was like, it wasn't like, she only had her car for a little while. Like, I think it must have been like less than a year she's had her car.
The one before this?
Yeah, the white, yeah.
Okay.
So, we're in Middletown, and I forgot, I think we were just doing like normal shopping or whatever, and we were in like a rush, and so there is a 2-lane little, you know, not a highway, but like a 2-lane road, and it comes to a 4-way, and, you know, I'm driving her car, you know, my like second year working at the motor club, I got trained.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's like the only word I could really use to describe it was trained, but not really. Like they don't call it training. You know what I mean? There's like certain racing lingo. But anyway, an instructor took me in the car. He showed me, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I got evaluated, you know, that I could drive by myself, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, this was like, I was 20. I thought it was hot shit. So I knew everything. So going down this 2-lane road, and here comes a 4-way intersection, and I'm in the left lane in this little Saturn, just like the Saturn, the beater that I had like 2 years ago, was in front of me, and it turned yellow, and the Saturn hit the gas, and I was like, fuck it. She's hitting the gas. I'm hitting the gas.
Gonna go.
We're doing this. Yeah. We're doing this together.
Wait, she was in front of you or next to you?
She was in front of me in the left lane, and it turned yellow. And we weren't far. Like, we were, like, basically under it. You know what I mean? Like, right in front of it when it turned yellow. And she hit the, you know, it was a decision-making time. And she hit the gas, and I was like, all right, we're doing this. And I hit the gas, and then she fucking... she like changed her mind. Dude, she must have got like scared because there was like a Cadillac Escalade in the oncoming lane that was like inching up to make a left at the 4-way.
Probably past the line.
And that was way past the line.
Yeah.
And she slammed on her brakes. I think she was afraid he was gonna hit her. And I fucking fucking slapped into the back of this Saturn. And bro, the Accord was demolished.
Totaled it?
Like, no, it was like like just below totaled. You know, it's like a couple grand under what the car was worth. And the Saturn, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how that works?
Like, popped right back out, and she fucking drove off, no problem.
Isn't it crazy how that works?
And Corinne, she fucking tortured me for 6 months. Yeah. And even to this day, sometimes she'll be like, you crashed my car. So, dude, trust me. When I tell you being careful in your significant other's car is a good idea, it's a good idea. Because trust me, you don't want to be reminded of it for the rest of your life.
No, I don't.
Because that's what I'm dealing with.
That's crazy. I did not know about that. Was there damage to, like, the engine? Like,
no, I think it got...
Was it drivable or no?
No. Radiator, front subframe... You know, lights, front bumper, hood, the whole thing. I got crushed right in there. Wow.
That's the one thing I'm thankful about is my car's still drivable. I mean, the headlight's out so I could get pulled over, but it's all cosmetic damage, really.
Yeah, and when you drive to work, you should be good unless if it rains, like you said, that would be the one issue that you'd have.
Yep.
But, yeah, accidents are funny, man. It's like...
That's crazy.
That taught me to calm down in her car.
Yeah, it'll slow you down. Yep, it'll slow you down real quick. There was I think the only other accident I've ever been in was when I was in 7th grade. Ryan was in 12th grade. And our school, for people who don't know about Eldred Central School District, their high school is the building at least is 7th to 12th grade. High school is still 9th to 12th. But so I was in the same building as my brother. He gave me rides to and from school. And the one day he had his Chevy Cavalier. And he gave me the keys after school. He's like, go start it. I'll be there. He had to stop at the locker room. So I go, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and I start the car, and it's winter, and I'm warming it up. And he comes out, he gets in, and we're in the student parking lot, and he pulls out, and this guy in the parking lot is doing about 30 and hit the front driver's side of the bumper, and the whole car just shifted. Mm-hmm. And I was in 7th grade, and I was just so shocked. I was like, oh, my God. And I'm pretty sure they just exchanged insurance information, and she left. And then Ryan filed a police report, so a cop showed up, a constable. And I was so little. She was like, is anybody deceased? And I looked at Ryan. I'm like, is anybody deceased? I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea trying to answer questions. So that's really it.
Yeah. The gold Cavalier.
Yep.
I remember Ryan drove me down to college when I was like 15 or 16.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And he was a freshman in college. That's when that was like the big party.
Yeah. I've heard stories about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was fucking flying down the Palisades Parkway.
Yeah.
Like trying to get to this party. And I show up, I was like 15 or 16, like partying with college freshmen. I thought it was the shit.
Hot shit. Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. But
that's funny.
That was funny. The good old days.
That car, he put like aftermarket speakers in it.
Yeah, that's when he was in like the big phase.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was going to the Middletown flea market, buying these speakers and subwoofers and wire and hiding the wires. But his back passenger door didn't open or shut, so he had to duct tape it shut. Nice. He had to like close it with a coat hanger and duct tape it. And
yeah. He did the subs in my car too.
The Civic? Did he really? Yeah, wow, I didn't know that.
I thought it was a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I gave him money for the subwoofers.
Most cars now come with like really good sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really good sound.
Especially like if you get like a loaded semi or a loaded version. Mm-hmm. Like they come, like I know Dodge comes with like Beats.
Really?
Like my mom's Charger, it's like Beats by Dre Audio.
Wow, that's
cool. The whole
cool.
car is laced with
Beats
speakers, and then I know that I think it's either Chevy or I think it's Chevy. They do Bose.
Yeah, I have Bose in mine.
So
the Speeds,
Bose,
yeah.
Bose is big.
And
yeah,
that's cool.
Over. Yeah, it's crazy how technology. Corinne and I were just talking about, actually. We were talking about this Acura that we saw, but you and I, on the way over here, we were talking about how Tesla's going to be our next vehicle.
I would love a Tesla.
Yeah. Once I'm going to have my truck forever. Trucks are just, they last 200,000-300,000 miles. You have to keep up on maintenance, but you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that trucks last forever.
Yep.
And so I'm always going to need a truck. And Corinne's Accord is going to be paid off first, and then once that's paid off, we're going to keep that, and we're 100% buying a Tesla.
Nice. That's exciting.
I was like talking to someone at work about it, and I was like, it's not because I'm like, hug the earth and all that. Obviously I do want, what's best, but dude, it's a no-brainer. I'm saving money on gas, and it's better for the environment, so why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
it's like a no-brainer.
There's so many like other advantages of it too. Like I remember when I watched Joe Rogan had a podcast with Elon Musk, so he was asking him about Teslas, and Elon was saying that a regular gas powered mechanical car, when it hits a patch of ice, you have to hit the brakes, and the whole process of you hitting the wheels, hitting the ice, you hitting the brakes actually slowing down the car, and then you getting off the ice. He said that is so much slower compared to in a Tesla, where once it hits the ice, all the electric communication kicks in, and it does it automatically. And right when you're off the ice, it does it so much faster. It takes the brakes off so much faster.
My president has the best SUV Tesla you could buy.
Wow.
Like the P.
Can't remember if that's the Y. Yeah, the Y. So do you know about their models, how it spells out like sexy, the word sexy?
Are you serious?
They have a Model S, they have a Model 3, they have the Model X, and then the Model Y.
So X is the SUV.
Yeah.
So he has a X but with the P300 or
the S has all of its different trims and model numbers. The 3 has the same thing, and then the X,
Yeah, and this thing, him and then a different person that I've seen at work, they have the same one, but just a different color. And I was like, oh, I've never, when I first saw it, this was a couple of years ago, and when Ludicrous Mode came out, and I was like, oh, have you tried out Ludicrous Mode? And he's like, yeah, I've tried out Ludicrous Mode. And bro, now, folks, I don't know if you've ever seen a Tesla SUV in person. They're pretty big.
I've just passed a few. I haven't seen them.
Like, the cars are relatively small, but dude, the SUVs are really big. Like, it's like compared to like a Buick SUV, you know what I mean? Like an Enclave. Like, it's a big SUV. And he was like, all right, watch this. And he put it in Ludicrous Mode on the big giant screen to the right. It was incredible. And bro, it was like gone. There was no sound. All you heard was just the rubber from the tires. Like kind of like tearing up on the pavement, and you didn't hear exhaust, you didn't hear whining, you didn't hear anything. It was just matter moving. Like, it was so fucking
That's
cool.
amazing.
Oh my god.
They don't have exhausts.
Nothing.
You don't have to change the oil. You don't have to worry about a transmission, right?
Nothing.
They just have their motors.
Yeah, I would have to imagine that the transmission and that kind of stuff is probably, I'd say, I wouldn't say fragile because everything's electric, but I want because we're still in the beginning stages. So like, what happens when someone owns a Tesla for 6-7 years? Like, what starts to like deteriorate?
Right. What degrades first? Yeah.
Exactly. So like, after 5 years, not 5 years, we bought an 09 in like 2012, and by 2018, like, it was burning oil.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, what was it, 8, 9, 10 years, your Honda's burning oil.
Yeah.
So, like, what's that 8, 9, 10 years like with a Tesla?
Right.
So, that'll be interesting to see. But I think they're going to hold up just fine.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the batteries, and I always hear that they're making improvements on it. They're always updating their software. And that's a cool thing about that, because, like, mechanical gas-powered cars, you can flash the ECU and whatever, but the manufacturer can't update it. You can take it to the dealership and they can update your GPS card. That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and the cool thing about a Tesla is they have that big tablet in the middle, and the interior just looks so nice. It looks like a nice car.
It's beautiful.
What model do you think you guys would get?
The cheapest one, I think, is
the 3?
Tesla 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Model 3.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
you can get them without autopilot mode too.
Yeah, and I think it's like $5,000 cheaper. But if I'm buying a Tesla, I'm getting autopilot, baby.
You want your car to,
like, he retweeted something the other day, and it said like, it asked people like, what's your monthly bill for your cars? And someone was like $450, and the guy broke it down into lease a new Tesla model, blah blah blah. It was like $421 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I pay $440 for my truck. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're like, wow, I could own a Tesla for cheaper.
Right.
That's pretty.
And the maintenance
cool.
is cheaper too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I probably imagine the only regular maintenance you have to do is brakes and rotors.
Brakes and rotors. Yeah. Yeah. New wheels here and there.
Yeah,
every few years.
You get your home pack. You get your home charging station, and they recommend like putting some solar stuff at home, so that way it helps kind of charge it up. And then at my job, we have Tesla chargers.
I love going places and
really
seeing those.
Cool.
Yeah,
I feel really cool when people
like
show
privileged.
up. Yeah, I feel really cool when people show up and they have Teslas, and I'm like, oh, and by the way, the Tesla chargers are in spot 1, 2, and 3. And their eyes widen, and they're like, oh my god,
sweet. They're so accommodating.
They get it.
This one time, I had to. This might sound like it's off topic, but I'll get back on track. I had to. I bought something offline. I had to return it, and I had to go to work and come home. It's like 7:00. Where do you ship something out at 7? I went to this place in Narrowsburg. I forget the name of it, but Narrowsburg is in the middle of nowhere on the border by Pennsylvania. And I go in there, and I park there, and they have like 10 Tesla charging spots, and I'm like, this is Narrowsburg. Like, there's all farms around you. Pennsylvania's right over there. Like, who has a Tesla around here?
There's a white Tesla that drives around here.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing them more and more often.
I see them all the time on the Hawks Nest.
I'm telling you, I would love to have one. I've always, like, if money wasn't a problem, I'd probably get the Model S.
Yeah.
But, if I had to have one and I can't choose, it would definitely be the 3.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 100% what we'll get. And I'm, if I'm buying a Tesla, I'm going to get the autopilot. I'm going to get the solar panels at home. You know what I mean? I'm just going to go, you might as well spend the extra money. Exactly.
Do it right. Yeah.
Imagine how disappointing it'd be if, like, I bought a Tesla and you're like, oh, Rich, kick on the autopilot.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't have that.
Yeah, I didn't get that. And everybody like, what the fuck did you get a Tesla for? You know what I mean? So it's like...
It's like people getting that new iPhone. You're like, wait, can I plug in my headphones? No, I don't have an aux port.
It's crazy,
That
man.
bugs me.
Oh, dude.
That bugs the hell out of me. I'm not going to lie. And they say it's like an older interface, but so many... I mean... I guess it makes sense, but they're the ones putting out the new interfaces with their AirPods and AirPods 2 and AirPods Pro, and but those are nice devices. But what was I gonna get at? I brought this up for a reason. Foldable phones. Have you seen foldable phones?
Really?
Yep. They had like a few prototypes last year, and I think Samsung has one out for sale right now.
Samsung's so far behind.
They break so easily though. I've like every review I see, they break so easily, and it's just.
I did see that.
Yeah.
And there's a guy on YouTube. I think there's multiple, but I know that there's one prominent one, and he like break tests phones. Like he like slams them, he'll hit them with a hammer, he'll buy like 10 of the phones for X amount, and then he'll break them, and he'll make his money right back from the YouTube clips.
Yeah.
But the and he'll sit there and try to break them a different way. Oh, this one withstanded a hammer 20 strikes. This one did it once. But dude, Samsung's sign me out.
Yeah.
I
that's the one thing about Apple. I'll stick to their phones.
It's a no-brainer. There's just,
iMessage, FaceTime, all that stuff.
Dude, and my stepfather had one for a long time. He was like, oh, I'm a Samsung guy. And then he got an iPhone, and he was like, wow.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, shit.
Welcome to the light side.
Seriously, it's just a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But I will say that if my job didn't consist of constantly emailing and, checking cameras and apps and blah, 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 blah. Like if I was like a, just for example, like a construction worker, I'd have a flip phone.
Yeah.
I would not have an iPhone. Like I always tell Corinne that, and I bug her like once a month, once every 2 months. I'm like, I'm gonna go buy a flip phone just from Verizon for like the cost. Yeah. And the cost is like $90.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I just, we are addicted to them. It like we all just kind of accepted it really.
Yep.
But without them, we would be way. I wouldn't say dumber. Just we wouldn't have access to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like I think we might have talked about this last time. Have you heard of the app named Waze?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude.
The GPS app, the driving app.
Thing.
Yeah.
You can pick up the cops. You can see just someone could report like roadkill or construction or whatever. I was using that. I've been using that since I downloaded it. Yeah. You have that. Like I said, you can check home cameras, work cameras. You can check everything. Yeah. From a little tiny phone.
Even if you're talking to somebody about something and a question comes up, you could just Google it. You can't do that with a flip phone, but I would love to try to go with a flip phone just for like a week or just a month, because it's especially when you're working. I mean, I work at desk jobs, so my phone's always right there, and I see other guys around the office just pick it up and text people, and like we actually have a new guy on our team, and we're going through the onboarding process, and I'm talking to him. And he just keeps looking at his watch, looking at his phone, looking at his watch, looking at his phone. And I ask him to do something. And it's not like I'm demanding him or bossing him around. No. It's just like, you have to get them through the very basic actions so they can do operational work. And I just say, oh, can you click that right there? And he's like, yep, I'll click that. Oh. And then he goes and clicks it. And I'm just like, I have so much stuff to do. And I'm taking the time to try to train you and try to show you the ropes.
How old is he?
22. Yeah, he's young. He's like fresh out of college. But yeah, I'd love to try a flip phone again, because it's just like, it's everybody's just in a hand's reach. Where if you had a flip phone, somebody would have to call you. You would hear their voice, or going through that wait to see them again at the end of the day, like Heather and somebody's significant other, it's a lot more, picking up the phone and always texting kind of feels like a job sometimes, if you know what I'm getting at.
Oh, it absolutely does. But back to your story with, your coworker, that shit drives me fucking insane.
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand when people do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes Corinne will do that. And I'll be sitting there looking at her like, my eyes like, hello. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, that's the one thing that really gets me.
Yeah.
But, I wish that we could, I think the happy median with the phone situation for me would be like, we have everything that we have, but like people still call each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like texting is like such a scapegoat, and it's like so easy, and like people just don't talk on the phone anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it kind of sucks because it's got to, somebody's calling me, they're annoying.
Yeah.
It's like if you're getting a phone call, it's annoying. Why couldn't they just text me? You know what I mean? There's certain points where, a text is definitely, the number one option, if nothing's going on. But like,
if it's a yes or no question.
Exactly. Yeah. But like if someone, wants to check up on you, or, if somebody wants to see, oh shit, I'm having a rough day, you know what I mean? I'm going to call X, Y, and Z. That kind of stuff, I wish, would be, largely accepted. Obviously it doesn't matter with me. I could pick up the phone and call whoever I want and chat with them, but it's like just kind of wish that, the whole texting, and because everything's fast, and I realize that about our generation. It's like now, it was Vine, and how long was Vine?
Yeah.
I think it was around for like a couple of years, and then it's gone. And then the length of the videos,
they were like 6 seconds.
And now TikTok is the big thing.
Yeah.
And it's just everything is so fast, and we're done. And then we put the phone down. Next time, I'm giving you people a mission. Next time you're out in public, whether you're at work or if you're out to dinner, or you're, let's say, in a waiting room at a doctor's office or whatever, watch this. You're going to see someone look at their phone, and then they're going to close their phone, and they're going to take a deep breath right after they put their phone like down. Like it's almost like a relief.
Oh yeah.
Like they check their phone and
yep.
Like
but a lot of the time they'll pick it right back up.
Oh yeah.
They'll pick it right back up.
Oh yeah. And I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah, me too. And that's what I'm talking about. Like I'll be at work and it's not like I'm trying to shit on Heather whatsoever. I love her so much. It's just like whether it's my dad, group texts, anybody really. If they text me and I pick up my phone, text them back, put it down, bzz, bzz, and you got to pick it up again, and it's a little aggravating.
Especially with group text. Leave me the fuck.
Oh man,
I leave them.
Yeah.
I leave them.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen you leave them.
I go to that top right.
Yeah.
That I button.
Yeah.
Scroll down. Go to leave conversation, motherfucker.
You've seen me leave. I've seen you leave them. Yes. Like when the whole family's trying to plan stuff. It's just
me.
like
fucking
like,
see you later.
When we were trying to plan Graham's surprise birthday party, Heather was in it, and your mom was texting everybody, and like 6 people. You know how you can like tap the message and thumbs up, thumbs down, haha, love, whatever. 6 people put the thumbs up, and I was the last person to reply, and I didn't say okay, I didn't say I'll be there. I thumbs it up, and she's saying, Jesus, why does everybody do this? You don't have to do that. Yeah.
Yep. Corinne started me on that.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh wow, that's a feature no one's ever going to use.
Like,
when I first saw that, and then now it's like you said, it's like not answering, but acknowledging that you've, that I've read your message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. But what I do like is how you can like slide the message and mute it.
Yes.
You never used to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's huge.
But another thing that I wanted to bring up was I had this jailbreak thing, and it told you how many times you unlock your phone in a day. Oh. And it is disgusting. Yeah, it makes you feel awful.
Do you have the like the under the tip section, like where, like, or how much time you've spent
Screen
on your
time.
phone?
Screen time. Yes. Yeah. On my work phone I do. Yeah. But I use that less, so it's not going to amount to what I actually do on my personal phone.
Is that where you find out how many times you click open your phone?
No, that was something I downloaded from like a jailbroken site.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
But
What
I
was it?
uninstalled that quick.
Yeah.
That was so much.
Was it like hundreds?
Over 200, yeah. It was a lot.
It's
It
tough,
makes
man.
you feel awful.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, you would text, put your phone down, buzz, pick it back up.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
If you think about
It's
it,
stuff
your
you-
whole world's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I would love to go with a flip phone. Actually, I remember somebody being on Joe Rogan talking about that. He went without the internet for a whole year. Without the internet for an entire year. And he said, there's so many pros and cons to it.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to go that extreme.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he was doing it as an experiment. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go that extreme
I
either.
definitely want to keep up with what's going on and,
Yeah.
you know, the whole nine.
Stay in touch with friends. He said,
Yeah.
like, when he dropped off of Facebook, which I'm all for. I dropped off of Facebook.
Yeah.
And he said, like, he wasn't in touch with friends, and he missed, like, important parts of their lives.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And not even so much like, you know, not even so much your friends and your family, but like what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Like there's just like so many benefits to the internet. Like, you know, for example, something as small as, oh, hey, Iran bombed like a Saudi Arabia, you know, oil facility.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, in 3, you know, the whole research on the news said, hey, in 3 months, oil's going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let me order my oil now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like those small tidbits
Yeah.
that I feel like are important that you would just kind of miss without the internet.
Yeah.
And then, of course, WoW.
Yeah, there's gaming, there's entertainment, there's Netflix, there's
Yeah, hold on to WoW.
checking the weather. Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, especially something as simple as the weather.
Yeah.
You know? Like the nor'easter that came and knocked the crap out of us. You know what I mean? Imagine not knowing that was
Not
coming.
knowing about that. You know, there was actually
That was wild.
there was a storm, I think it was like the first storm last year that nobody was prepared for.
No.
Nobody was. I remember Ryan was driving down to Yonkers and it took him like 5 hours to get home. And, you know, nobody has snow tires down there. Everybody was unprepared.
Oh, yeah.
No plow trucks, no salt, nothing.
Yeah.
And
It's tough, man.
here goes Ryan with his Civic with his stud tires flying by everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just put snows on her car.
Yeah. I got mine from last year. I have to put them, you know, pay somebody to put them on.
Mavis was
Mavis and Matamoros?
15.
Oh, man. I went there once, and I'm sure they do a good job at what they do, but they were just so unprofessional, man.
Oh, yeah.
They were, like, cursing behind the counter.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't bag my tires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that kind of spot.
Yeah.
Not that kind of spot. Yeah, they charged me 15 a tire and then 80
Oh,
for
wow.
an alignment.
Okay.
So I wanted the alignment because that's what kind of ruined our tires from you know, the previous set. But so I was all for the alignment. But it was a good price. They did a good job. But like you said, it was very like and you know, this isn't, you know, attacking Mavis or nothing. It's just
Right.
our one experience. But
That's what it was. It was just one experience.
yeah,
And there's places
I
closer
kind of
to
had
home
the
for me.
same thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, you know, it was very like old school.
Uh-huh.
You know, it wasn't like, you know, professional and, you know,
Right.
good afternoon, you know,
Right.
Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Your vehicle has been completed, you know, it's
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
But I went to the dealership in Milford for
Mm-hmm.
my truck, and they were awesome, very professional. You know,
Yeah.
and it's very different. But of course, you're paying an arm and a leg.
Yeah, dealerships usually are. I remember when I had my recall fixed, I walked in and there's somebody at a computer right there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right on the spot. And now they're doing iPads, like at Middletown Honda. They, you know, you pull in, you don't even like you pull up to the garage door. It's automatic open. Pull in, you get out, there's a guy standing there waiting for, you know, he's got an iPad in his hand. Hey, how are you? Da-da-da-da. What are you in for? Da-da-da-da. You know, it's very
Wow.
like 1, 2, 3. You give him your keys, you go into the waiting room. It's pretty cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Huh.
But, yeah, for right now, we're all set on cars. The whole Tesla thing is, you know, a long-term goal.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Like I said, I'd love to have one. I'd love to have a beater, but it's just like Tesla can't really be a beater. You know, it's not like it's practical for driving on vacation and stuff because you can only go like
No.
250 maybe is the least, is like the lowest battery mileage.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I drive like 35 or 36 miles to work, so 70 a day.
Commuter car.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're made for.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to just try. It's like you get in. Imagine those nights where, like, you know, you're exhausted, you get home late, and you're like, fuck, I got work at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And like you wake up at 5:30, you get in the car at 6:15, and the car's driving itself.
Yeah,
to work,
yeah.
So that you can wake up. That'd be incredible.
I think it's just crazy that I get in my car now, and you know I have Bluetooth on my phone. I pick up my phone, plug it in, and it says 53 minutes from work.
Yeah, that kind of shit like creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, but what if you get in your Tesla and that's Bluetooth hooked to your phone and it says, you know...
Good morning, Richard.
Yeah. You weigh X pounds today.
Yeah, seriously.
We feel it in the seat.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Yeah. We're looking at you. You look dried out.
Yeah. You got to hold the wheel today.
Yeah. Your hydration percentage is...
Yeah.
You know?
No, they're really cool, though.
Yeah.
And there's other cars like there's other companies bringing out electric cars. Like you were talking, I think it was you talking about the Nissan Leaf, and there's the Chevy Volt. I see a few of those in the parking lot at work.
The Nissan Leaf was just as expensive as the Tesla.
Really?
I was like, yeah, and then Corinne looked it up, and then there was another that was like $25,000, I think.
Okay.
So I might be, over exaggerating here, but the one that I saw was like $40,000.
Yeah.
Like $40,000, I'm buying a Tesla.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just like
come on.
It's just like buying Bounty paper towels. Exactly. They've been doing it for a while. They know what they're doing.
They kind of invented the shit. And if you're gonna get an fully electronic car, you want the autopilot. You want the extra features that make it insane.
Yep. They're all-wheel drive, right? Yeah.
I think you could get two. I think there's two options.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think majority of them are all-wheel drive. But why wouldn't it be? It's all electric.
Right.
There's nothing like, you don't need a X, Y, and Z, to make it four-wheel drive. It's just like, hey, the battery, tosses this.
I always admire those project cars where people turn a front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive to all-wheel drive.
Oh, dude.
Like,
what a fucking hassle.
Yeah, what a hassle. But it's just like, if you could buy it like that, that'd be nice.
For sure.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, that is cool. And like you said, it's admirable. Mm-hmm. But, Jesus.
A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of trouble.
And it's like, dude, just go buy the rear-wheel drive car.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, go buy. The only thing that I think is relatively easier in that category is making all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of got to disconnect, some things.
I see what you mean.
Them out. Like,
yeah.
A lot of dragsters make, like, GTRs all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive.
Okay.
Which I can see why.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have, it's just GTRs are a monster, but, launching a 1,000 wheel horsepower GTR off the line when it's all-wheel drive, you're going to break shit.
Yeah.
Unless you have the best of the best.
You know what's crazy? What I'm thinking about right now is what you were telling me before we started the podcast, when you were driving, and I guess I'll jump into my story, was sometime over the summer I was driving through Sparrow Bush, and I was all by myself coming home from work, and there's like a field to my right, and the guy in front of me is going slow. He's not doing 55. He's doing like 45, which I'm glad he was now. And I look to my right, and there's a bald eagle just soaring at like window height off the ground. And he's maybe 20, 30, 40 feet away from the car. And it was just amazing. And he had something in his feet.
Yeah.
And then I was going a little bit faster than him. So I finally passed him. I looked over, and he had a rabbit all mangled up in his feet. Like that was his dinner. And it was... Then he landed, and I saw him in my side view, and they are just big birds, man. They're huge.
Yeah, I saw one today, and it was the same thing, left side, down 31, and he was in the ditch on something. Now, when he flew away, and he was flying parallel to me, that's why it was so freaking cool.
But
he didn't have anything in his claws, but you get to appreciate how ginormous they are, and like the head. Just a white head was like this freaking big.
And that's why when they're so far up there, that's a bald eagle. Because you can see their tail and their head. Mm-hmm. It's so cool.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, Merc.
Yeah, you really do appreciate it.
I was like, God damn.
It doesn't happen often.
No, it really doesn't. And we live in
the woods.
One of the spots where they're the most popular.
Yeah.
Like Forestburg is named the winter home of the bald eagle. Did you know that?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again?
Forestburg's like slogan, or
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Yeah, I would imagine that's a slogan, or just whatever.
Motto,
A
slogan.
A fun fact, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Is it's called the winter home of the bald eagle.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's neat. I know they have that Eagle Observatory down, down low. I don't know where that is. What, Forestburg Road? Maybe? Yeah.
Yep. County Route 43, 33.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's a nice spot. And a lot of people see stuff over there. And what a view that is.
Yeah. Even if you don't see an eagle, that's nice.
Yeah. Especially in the winter.
Uh-huh.
I love, like, having a cup of coffee in my truck and like, going down there. And some mornings, like, the frost and the snow will be on those trees. And you just look and you see the lake. And then you just see the white on the trees. It's so beautiful.
Isn't it nice? I like living in a spot where we get to go through and observe all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't like to live in Florida. I've never been there, but I wouldn't like to live there. Wouldn't like to live in India dealing with monsoon season and all that nonsense. I don't know, because there's a beauty to winter. There's a beauty to all 4 seasons. I just really like it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, me, I would deal without the winter.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't jump off a bridge if I didn't have to deal with winter.
Uh-huh.
But I do appreciate, because I live here. So
Right.
you might as well appreciate it. And
grew up here too.
Fuck this place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're freezing to death.
Yeah.
But no, it's, it has its pros and its cons. But you try to look at the pros.
Appreciate it from a distance. If you're inside the house, if you're inside your car, like you said, with your coffee, with your tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd really like to get a remote starter for my truck so that way this winter isn't as bad.
Yeah.
Because that was huge for Corinne.
You have heated seats too?
No.
Oh, man. My old car did, and my car now doesn't, and I miss it so much.
Yeah.
It is so nice.
Yeah. Corinne has an automatic starter, so it's like anytime if we're home together and we got to go somewhere, warm that puppy up, let that thing run for 10 minutes, and we're like, oh, let's go, it's warm.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I'd have to get that for my truck this winter. That way I'm not miserable.
Yeah.
It helps out a lot.
Yeah, it gets so damn cold, but I don't know. Sometimes I like it. Not the cold. I'm just saying, like,
feel.
I always say, it's just that feeling. You get the ambiance,
You're right.
Yeah, cutting down the Christmas tree. We're gonna get a fresh tree this year. So
yeah?
Heather's never had a real Christmas tree.
Really?
And we've always had a real Christmas tree.
Uh-huh.
So we've been duking it out, going back and forth. Mm-hmm. And I think we're gonna get a real Christmas tree, but I think we have to get a tree stand. Because a tree stand for a fig tree and a real tree are definitely different.
Well, you could borrow mine.
Really?
Yeah, because I was the same way. When Corinne and I got together, Corinne's like, no, we're just getting a fake one. She grew up with fake trees.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yo, let me tell you something.
We're going to go cut it down.
I've been doing this my whole life. We're going to the damn farm. We're picking wood. We're cutting it down. I'm dragging it up the woods. And I'm putting it on my truck. Or on the car, they tie it around your car. You tip the guy, they shake it. There's a whole
they put it. Oh man, it was so funny. She saw it for the first time last year. They put it in. You cut down the tree, you bring it back for them to tie it up, and they put it in a thing to shake it and get all the needles off, and the whole tree's just like back and forth.
Yeah.
I heard Graham talking about last night how somebody else doesn't want a fake tree, or somebody else wants a fake tree. And she was worried about all the pine needles. Mm-hmm. And Graham was saying, well, when you go to the farm and you cut down a fresh one and you bring it home, it's not the same kind of tree you would go to a lot and buy that's been cut for a month already.
Exactly. Yeah. I would never buy from like Home Depot or whatever that is. Nothing against them, but like I want to go cut that shit out of the ground myself.
Right.
Like that's just part of the experience. Like. Why go buy a real one at, outside in the parking lot at Home Depot or, this random parking lot?
Right. That's not
go buy a
eventful.
fake tree. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same thing. But, so when we got Jeter, I was like, yeah, he's going to eat every pine needle. We got him in October, and he ate everything.
Yeah.
If we left anything in the ground, it was gone. You
were telling me you chewed through 3 pairs of your Crocs.
3 Crocs down, up and down. It's like
that's crazy.
So you have to toss him. So we were like, all right, so he can't be around the Christmas tree because he'll eat the pine needles, he'll get sick, and then something will happen, or he'll drink the water out of the bucket, at the bottom, the stand. And so we were like, all right. I was like, Corinne, because this is our, we've had a lot of Christmases together.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, you won this year. I was like, next year though, we're going back to the real one.
Yeah.
But no, and I'll be honest with you, it was way easier.
Uh-huh.
It was nice, but I tell you what, I did miss that. That feeling.
The whole house smells good.
Cheer. The whole house smells good, and then it's like you're setting it up, and then it's like it's your tree. Like no one has anything like that.
Right.
It's the Hugel tree or the Burns tree.
Yeah.
So
if
right. Heather hasn't experienced that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you make hot cocoa that night. When you're done setting it up.
Yep.
You sit on the couch and you sit back and drink some hot cocoa, and you're like, look what I created.
Yeah, I don't know. Christmas gets really nostalgic for me because it's just like reminds me when we were kids and everybody was in the house, and now it's just like
people getting Xboxes and shit.
Yeah, going crazy, getting video recorded. Recording their reactions. It was so funny. You ever see the one where the guy opens a PlayStation? I think it was a PlayStation, and he's shaking the box, going crazy, and the cat jumps on him and attacks him.
The cat is like, "Can you fucking stop?" Yeah, pretty incredible.
I think it was 2 years ago. We went to the farm and cut down a tree and brought it home. Set it up in Graham's house without her knowing. And she came home and she didn't have the lights turned on yet. And she's like, "What smells so good? I thought somebody had a candle lit. I thought I left the candle lit."
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful, beautiful smell. Beautiful view. But, I don't know. Now you got me wondering. I wonder if I'll just go get a real tree and then put like a little gate around it. We have plenty of gates in this household. Because
do the cats bother the real tree?
Yeah.
They do?
They don't bother anything, though.
Yeah.
Whether it's real or fake, they're up there. Bing, bong, bong,
yeah.
Yeah. That's all you hear in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I think one of them, Binks actually climbed the fake tree last year.
Really? Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. Pretty funny. Cats are wild, man.
Yeah.
Cats are so wild.
Our cat's calmed down a little bit, but obviously she lost an eye.
Yeah.
Now she's an indoor cat. Down. I always make a joke, and I talk to her sometimes, and I'm just like, you got to do something today. She's always laying upstairs on the couch, and I'm like, you got to get up. You got to do something today, May.
Yeah, there's times where, like, Jeter will sleep with us for 2 days, and then one night it'll be like, all right, Jeter, it's the cat's turns.
Yeah.
I'll put him away, and then I'll bring the cats out. And when they see Jeter's away, they start strutting out like they're big shit,
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's up? We're on the town.
I'm sure they do that walk where they're walking like this. Yeah.
Yep, they'll run up on the bed.
Start purring.
Start doing making the biscuits.
Up
and down.
Yeah.
And that's the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually just got May's nails clipped. So for surgery, she had to be put under. And when we went to pick her up, she was still like drugged up. And the vet was just like, well, now's a good time if you want to brush her teeth, if you want to clean her ears. You want me to clean her ears? Have you ever clipped her nails? Here, I'll clip her nails for you. And I looked at Heather. I'm like, if we want to give her a bath, now's the time. We didn't, but yeah, he clipped her nails.
Yeah.
So
how much did he charge for that?
Nothing.
Really?
So what happened was, for those who don't know, her right eye got punctured and it had to be removed. So he put her under. He removed it. That was about $500 total. And so then what happened was her stitches popped out. And so we had to take her back. She had to be put under again within a month, twice within a month. And that's when we picked her up. I lost my train of thought. What were you asking me about?
The price.
Yeah, so when we picked her up the second time, we said, so what do we owe you? And he said nothing.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was really nice of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good when you get people like that, It's like they appreciate the business.
He's amazing. Yeah. He is amazing. Dr. Agustin in Bethel, New York. He, the first time when we brought her home, he actually gave us a shot of morphine. Well, let me take a step back. So we went there on a Saturday, and he was going to do the first surgery Monday, and it was Sunday. It was the only day in between that. And her eye, actually, this is gross, but it started bleeding a little bit. Not a lot, just like a teardrop, but it was blood. And so we called him up, and he didn't pick up. So he called us back, said, if you want a shot of morphine, I can put it in my mailbox. I can come to you and drop it off.
Oh.
And it's like 8 o'clock at night. We just finished dinner. And we're like, is that necessary? Like, she doesn't seem like she's in pain. She seems okay. So we hung up. He called back again, like 10 minutes later. Are you sure? Is she okay? Like, he was genuinely concerned.
Aww.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's good.
Yeah, it's nice when you have a good vet like that. Unfortunately, we just lost our person that we really kind of dealt with, the whole vet thing. So the next time I take Jeter or the cats to the vet, I kind of have to establish a new little friendship. I was able to text this person, hey, X, Y, and Z happened. What do you think? That's huge.
That's nice.
Especially when you're as neurotic as Corinne and I. We think Jeter's going to die for every little thing, So it was nice to be able to text a professional and then be like, calm down.
Right.
Do X, Y, and Z, and it's fine. It's not a big deal. So we'll definitely miss that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's crazy to think animals are just like humans, man. They need doctors, bills, the whole.
I was just gonna say vets are just like regular old doctors. You got a good one, you can have a bad one.
That's
you
it.
can have a screwy one.
We know about screwy ones.
Yeah.
We grew up with one.
What do you mean?
We grew up going to one.
Me? Oh, yeah, we did.
we won't
took me a second.
We won't drop his name, but...
He messed me up so bad, it took... No, I'm kidding.
No, go ahead.
He almost killed my dad. Did you know about that?
I didn't know that.
I forget the whole details and, what was actually wrong with my dad, but
oh, my God.
He gave my dad some medication. My dad felt awful, absolutely awful, really ill. And this doctor gave him some kind of medication. I don't know what it was. And my dad said every day he took that, he felt worse and worse and even worse. And then he went to a different doctor, and they said, why are you taking that? You should not be taking that.
Oh, my God.
And so he said he stopped, and they gave him something else, and each day he felt better and even better and even better. Yeah, I would never go to that guy today.
Hell no. I wouldn't take my fucking cat to that guy.
No.
And honestly, he lucked out because he was the only doctor in a 50-mile radius for people up in the woods. You know what I mean? So, our parents didn't know better. Oh, he's a doctor.
Right. He's close. It's convenient.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like an hour drive to the closest doctor, and then you have to wait and make an appointment. Meanwhile, us kids were fucking dying.
Yeah,
I mean? So,
we're just happy we're out of school.
That's it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I don't miss those times at all. Urgent care really took over.
Yeah. If I don't feel good, that's where I go.
It's boom. It's just nice and quick. Now that the insurance that I have doesn't really agree with urgent care that much, so I do the whole scheduling thing. But I've been toughing out a lot more things. I would have went to the doctor probably a couple times this year, but I said, with this new insurance, I'm just gonna suck it up and kind of deal with it. And luckily, everything has been fine.
Good. So knock on wood. Yeah. So. Last time I went to urgent care was. Let's see, February, probably last year, probably almost a year ago, November, something like that. My sister came home from college, and she just learned about, it's called Coxsackie, hand, foot, mouth disease. Yep. And she told me all about it, and then, literally 2 days later, she's like, I think I'm getting hand, foot, mouth disease. And I'm like, no way. That's such a rare thing. That's not a real thing, And, lo and behold, she got it, and then I got it, and it was the weirdest thing ever, dude. I woke up one morning, and it was flu-like symptoms. I had a really high fever. I felt a little bit nauseous. I had, no energy. I would stand up and just be I had the spins a little bit. And I ended up getting sick and throwing up, and so then that lasted for 2 days. Second day, I felt fine, nothing ever happened. And then the day after that, I started getting these red bumps on my hands and my feet. Yeah. And it's just the weirdest thing ever. So I went to urgent care for that. Yeah.
Yeah. What they give you for that? Some antibiotics?
Nothing. They said it's viral. You just gotta ride it out. Yep. Yeah, so I worked from home for 2 weeks.
There was a guy who worked for me who had that. I remember that on the tail end of it, he was going to the fucking gym.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would he do that? It's highly contagious.
He was missing the gym so bad. He was a bucket. And I'm just like, I feel bad for all the people in the fucking gym. That's why it's what I mean? You got to wash your hands.
It's like these people with measles going to the airport and going to Disneyland and what are you thinking?
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, it's look, I'm no fucking genius. And look, and just to confirm that, I don't like to get the flu shot.
Oh, me neither.
I haven't gotten the flu shot in 6-7 years. Now, would a doctor say, hey, that's a terrible fucking idea? But guess what? I don't get the flu shot. But if the doctor tells you, hey, your kid, and I agree there's different steps to do this, but I think it's your, like, MMR or MRs
measles, mumps, rubella.
That's it. Get the fucking shots for your kid. Don't get them all at once because that, I guess, causes complications. I guess you're supposed to space them out, and that's the best. But, dude, they didn't fucking invent this shit for fucking shits and
for
giggles.
nothing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do us all a fucking favor and get your kid shots so that measles and mumps and all the fucking things are riding around the universe.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it's all over.
It is. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
In Rockland County, they had to be shut down.
I know, they had it the worst. I remember riding to work. I was listening to K104, and they were saying on there that Rockland County had it the worst out of any county in New York State.
Like New York State got involved, and they had judges were shutting schools down.
Yeah.
And, they couldn't do it because of religion and blah, 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 blah. Just do us all a favor, man.
Yep.
Just get the damn shots. It's, like, so stupid.
Yeah.
And first off, you're killing your kid. Did you hear about the case that was in... where was it? It was either Washington or like Oregon.
Okay. West Coast.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, West Coast North and Hippy Dippy.
Yeah, I've heard there's some weird people out there.
There was not everybody.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say that.
Eventually, we're gonna.
I'll take that back.
Out there.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But what was it? It was what's the one that gives you lockjaw? Tetanus.
Really?
They never gave their kid a tetanus shot. And
oh my goodness!
Kid got tetanus. It was like the first time in I don't know how long, and the kid got locked up. And it costed like $1 million fucking dollars. Like it was like $1 million bill, exactly $1 million. And like the news reporters, everyone was like, "Hey, would you change your mind now that you went through this and your kid went through like a 6-day, like he was gonna die for 6 days, and then they finally got him, and he's in condition." And the parents were like, "We wouldn't change the thing."
That's ridiculous.
At that point,
that is
they
ridiculous.
Should be fucking jailed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I didn't actually follow up on that story, but I just left it off at that because I'm just like the poor.
That is
kid.
That is not taking proper care of your kid.
It's like there's nothing bad about getting that shot. You know what I mean?
No.
Especially, and there's not bad about getting any shots. And the reason why I don't get a flu shot is because I'm a wacky conspiracist. When it comes to the flu shot, not about many other things. Because I'm not, I don't think that. But look, I think like something that you have to do every year, and you have to, it causes revenue and all that kind of shit. Hey, look, I'm always skeptical about the government saying, hey, you should get this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's on a yearly basis where it makes a shit ton of money. Do we really need this kind of thing? Injecting. Anyway, that's up for debate. But the other shit, it's like, guys.
It's so evident. It's so evident. Just get the shot.
Yeah.
Even if it's all preventable.
Yeah.
It's all preventable.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was a kid, my sugar would go high, and my dad would scold me for it. He'd be like, why didn't you give yourself insulin? This is all preventable. And I'd sit there like, oh, my God, yeah, I could have prevented this.
Hold on 1 second. Speaking of sugar high, we're gonna do something real fast. This is October, the end of October, the end of October special, right?
30. It's, or is it the 29th? It's 29th?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did you do sober October?
For the most part, yeah. I did drink here and there.
Yeah. It's tough.
It is. It's
not. It's tough that you're like addicted, but it's like, man, like for me, I broke it. I think on my birthday.
Yep, I broke it on your birthday too. These things are like crack.
All right, folks, you're partying with us. So, I was in Walmart today. yeah. Let that shit here. Put that up. Let that shit focus in there. So let me explain this shit to you people. This is the white fudge chocolate Oreos. These are off the fucking hook. Let me tell you what.
They're the only ones with crack in them. They actually put crack in them.
Seriously. And I I saw him in Walmart for the first time today, and I bought 2 boxes. I was like, done. My mom used to buy me a box, you know, and she even bought me a box last year. And I'm like, Mom, I'm 26. I should be buying my own fucking boxes of Oreos, you know. But I saw them. I was like, I'm gonna hit some.
They're so good.
You ready? There, you folks are gonna listen to this, right? Welcome to NoStreetLightsPodcast. Where we eat Oreos. But
delish. It's a game changer. I'm not even kidding. Because, like, if I buy a box of Oreos, it's usually double stuffed.
Me too.
Yeah. But these are good. These are a game changer. Like I said, the only ones with crack in them.
This is what the new ones look like, folks, in case you want to buy them. But back to getting nostalgic with winter. Mm-hmm. You get a few of these.
Around Christmas time, yep.
Around Christmas time, it's snowing outside, you're home with your wife or your girlfriend or fiance, and it's snowing, the fire's going, and you're all sitting around watching a Christmas movie, dunking 3 of those in the hot chocolate.
You're set. Yeah, how cozy, how much more cozy can you be?
For sure.
That's good.
But, yeah, man, back to the shots.
Wait, what were we talking about right after the shots? Right before the Oreos, we were talking.
Well, we went from shots to conspiracies about the flu shot, and then the Portland, or I think the tetanus. And,
yeah.
I don't know.
Damn.
Sorry,
that escaped me. No, that's fine. That'll happen.
Was it with diabetes?
I did bring it up, but that, yeah.
You're high.
That's not what it was, though. My dad, yeah, he did.
I swear to God, we're not high. You know, we're not drunk.
Sober October. That's what it was. People are gonna think we're celebrating early.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I broke it on your birthday too. I only had 1 shot of proper 12 whiskey, and then after that, dude, I was good. I was good for like 2 to 2.5 weeks. And when I broke it was one Thursday. My buddy from work was like, "You just want to go to a happy hour?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And we go, and I'm like, I was texting Heather. I'm like, I got invited to a happy hour, but I'm going to have soda. It's all fine. She's like, don't do that. You're going to make them feel weird. And I'm like, I am going to make them feel weird. Like, they're going to think. So I got there, and not everybody showed up at first. So, of course, the waitress was like, can I get you drinks while everybody else is coming? And I'm like, I don't know what I want yet. And people were getting, like, apple pie, cider, and all this stuff. And so I was like, fuck it. I'll have a Guinness. So I had 2 Guinness.
Guinnesses are so delicious.
It's so good. Yeah, you had one the other night. And so I told everybody at the table, I was like, I was trying to do the Sober October shindig, and here I am having a Guinness. And they literally, the girl, like, across, it was a circle table. She was across the table. She's like, are you serious? Why would you do that to yourself? And I was just I was like, no, look, I'm not a sober freak. Like, I'm not anti-alcohol like that.
Like I don't need to do Sober October. I'm just doing it because it's probably good for
exactly. My health. And I tried to explain that, and it just didn't come out right.
Yeah, you don't have to be an alcoholic to participate in Sober October.
Yeah. So after that, I mean, I had a drink here and there at home, but it's still not a lot, and I'd love to keep going without a drink. Yeah. It feels good. Like, you really don't need it.
I don't drink a lot to begin with. I really don't. I'm not a big beer drinker. What I like is a glass of wine, and I'll tell you what, I broke 3 times for Sober October. One was my birthday, which I think any reasonable individual would realize
makes sense.
Hey, look, it makes sense.
You got to celebrate.
2, we went out to an Italian restaurant, Corinne, my mother, my stepfather, and I, and we got our favorite wine. And dude, it felt so good. When
you get a good wine, it is great.
Man, I was like, oh my God, this just makes you feel good, nice and warm. It was like amazing. And then the last one was the Guinness at my grandmother's birthday. Now, I will tell you this: I got 3/4 of the way through the Guinness, and I was like, I didn't need the Guinness.
Yeah,
it tasted good.
Yeah, but you get so bloated.
You really do.
Like, some nights I'll be like, I'll have a Guinness, and I'm gonna stick with Guinness. Excuse me, and I have like 3, and I'm just, even if I'm eating dinner too. Yeah, dude, I feel huge. Oh yeah, like I feel huge. Like I feel like I'm breathing less. Yeah. Like it's crazy.
Like you're pregnant.
Yeah,
not that we know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's like your stomach's huge, and then like forget about going to the bathroom.
Yep.
It's like holy smokes.
Yep.
You're lucky if things,
Yeah.
But anyway.
What I've been drinking more of is green tea, though.
Yeah. To fill folks in, I just texted you the other day. I said, I want to get a really cool teapot, and I want to start drinking tea. Because right now, pumpkin coffee's got me hooked.
Yeah.
And I need to get off.
Yeah.
Talk about crack. Pumpkin coffee.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, that stuff is crack.
You buy it yourself or like get it somewhere else?
Dunkin' Donuts, man.
Yeah.
They got me going there scratching myself at 6
a.m.
Dude,
my mom does the same thing.
Oh my God.
My mom does the same thing. My parents pull up to Dunkin', and my dad's like, "Yeah, can I get a pumpkin spice blah 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 with extra flavor just for my mom?"
That's me, bro.
Yeah.
That's me every day. And it's got to stop. So that's why, back to the tea thing, that's why I want to...
It's funny, though, because my friend at work who, I'd mentioned before, we have a cafe at work, and they have a deluxe coffee machine. You can add all these different vanilla flavors and shots of this and whatever size. And so every time we take a break, we go for a walk. I'll get a chai tea, and he'll get that. But now he's starting to drink tea. And I just thought it was so funny because I felt like the only person that drinks tea. And he's like, well... I said, this is how I make it. I do 1 pack of sugar. I do just a splash of milk. And he's like, this is so good. How come I've been missing out on this?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to hop on something that I don't have to have sugar in. But I don't mind putting honey in my tea. Like I was sick last week, and I made green tea and black tea. I made both with a little honey. Oh, man. It tasted delicious.
Yeah, it's
it's
sweet. And it's, I think... honey has more calories than sugar, but I would definitely have honey, especially in green tea.
Especially when you're sick.
Yeah.
That was obviously the main reason. It was like my throat was killing me, so I was like, I know honey's gonna help that out. Yeah. So that's where I hopped in the tea train. I
would like to have a teapot though, because what I have is an electric water kettle, which I've heard mixed reviews about them.
Electric water kettle.
Yeah, you plug it into the outlet, you fill it with water, hit a switch. Like less than 5 minutes, you got boiled water.
Wow.
Yeah, and but I don't have an actual teapot that you put on the stovetop with a strainer, but that's for making it in like large quantities.
Yeah, and that's like the real hardcore, like when you have like the tea leaves and stuff.
Loose tea,
right?
yeah.
Loose tea.
That's how I try to buy it too, because I don't know, I read things and I get freaked out, but I've always
heard
like
a hardcore teer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Dude, I ordered tea from Japan. Yeah. In fact, we usually when I order this stuff from Japan, it's Genmaicha green tea, and it's got like matcha green powder on it and everything. And so, the last time I ordered it, we got our mail, and there was a pink slip. It said, you have a package at the post office. So I go down to get it, and I'm like, I bet this is my tea. And they needed a signature for it. And I'm signing for it, and I look at Heather, and I'm like, oh, this is probably that green tea I ordered. And she's like, oh, yeah, it probably is. And the guy's just looking at me like, he probably thought we were picking up drugs or something. Like,
crack cocaine.
This is coming from international mail.
Some heroin from Japan.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Even if it's not this Genmaicha stuff, just any other green tea with a tablespoon of honey, or maybe a teaspoon. And Heather's mom bought me local honey from Honesdale, Pennsylvania. That stuff is so good.
Yeah.
And I cut a lemon wedge and put some lemon juice in there, and it is just perfect.
Yeah.
You take one sip and you feel like you're alive.
Have you been? It's not like a honey convention, but it's like a fall thing, or like it's coming up real soon. It's down in I think Front Street or Main Street in Port, whatever it's called. And in the Erie Hotel, they do like a big thing. I'll take you there this year.
Yeah, I'd like to go.
And like they have like different shops and blah, 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 blah. And a lot of the stuff is made out of honey, or made out of beeswax. And, so they'll have the wax chapstick, and then you'll have tons of cool honey, and then you'll have, it's just like really organic.
Oh, dude, I'd love to go.
Yeah, it's really cool. And, I'll definitely snag some.
I'd love to go.
Local honey.
Yeah. They say that's good for your allergies, actually.
Really?
Having local honey is apparently it builds your immune system.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because it's the bees gather pollen from around the area where you're living.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that in the spring.
Try to get local honey.
Because springtime whoops my ass with allergies.
Yeah.
Forget about it. I have to wear a mask when I mow.
Plus, if you just dip your finger in local honey and stuff you buy at the store, it's totally different.
Have you seen like the videos on Instagram of them like crushing like a beehive?
Oh yeah.
And, like the honey pours out.
Yeah.
And they put on. It's like incredible.
Yeah, I'd love to do that for a day.
Oh man, right? Wouldn't you?
Sometimes, Mike Rowe, the guy from Dirty Jobs.
Yes.
Some days I would love to like just be in his shoes,
Me
man,
too.
because that show was awesome. He was an Eagle Scout.
No shit.
He was an Eagle Scout. Yep.
My man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
2 kids from my troop back in the day, they went to a national jamboree, they called it, down in, I think it was Virginia or West Virginia. And they had, like, celebrity Eagle Scouts who were there. And he was there giving this speech to, like, 10,000 Boy Scouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I'd love to be in his shoes.
He didn't forget where he came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he started.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah. Like you said, that would be cool to be in his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to try. I'd like to, imagine for like a whole week, you just try 7 different, like, professions.
Yeah.
Careers.
Stuff you didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Like,
because it's all about, like, especially me, like, you're always so afraid of things. Like when your brother installed the pellet stove, I was like, yo, I don't know how to do anything with pellet stove. Like, I could ruin my house, blah, 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 blah. And then he came over and installed the piping, and I was like, oh my God.
It's not that bad.
It's so easy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's that knowledge, that 10-minute knowledge that someone can get. And it's like, poof, and there's no fear, and it's,
Makes a world of difference.
And I feel like, as I keep discovering new things and trying things myself, and, I kind of get that, my head's up, my chin's up. I'm like, I could solve this.
You could tackle it.
When it comes to different projects in the house or, doing different things, I'm like, I could do this.
Yep.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
And one thing I'd really like to try soon is plumbing.
Plumbing, yeah.
To dabble into plumbing. Plumbing and electricity, but
electricity, there's so much to it. And like I don't know, I feel like I'm good with electronics. I used to solder shit like when I was still living at home. But there's just like there's so much amps and volts and watts and ohms and all kinds of stuff.
And unfortunately, it could be dangerous.
Yeah. Right.
Like the whole plumbing thing. You can, whether it's copper or PVC, and you're laying your pipe down and blah blah blah, and you have to know a little electric stuff. Like I know a little, when it comes to wiring, outlets and switches and ceiling fans and lights and stuff like that. I got really good at that the past year. But I think anything beyond that, a plumber wouldn't be plumbing work. A plumber's going to need to know that kind of stuff so that when he's installing a furnace, he knows what goes where and blah 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 blah. But the whole, like you were talking about, the electrician stuff. You have to know a ton of stuff. Yeah. Because you could kill yourself.
Yeah, crazy.
You could kill someone else that's working out on a line.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a big thing in the wintertime when people turn on their like a lot of people have their generators and they have them hooked up to their breaker panel, and then what they left their breaker panel switch on. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to
flip it off, and
then leave the ones that your generator's specifically hooked up for. But some of them leave it on, turn on the generator, and then when the storm's over, there's a guy out on the pole. And your current is running straight back through the wire up to the pole. You're frying somebody. If you're just working for O&R and you're out there fixing wire, and then all of a sudden you're toast because some moron left his generator on.
It's like, and some people,
it's risky.
They have the riggiest of systems trying to have their generator hooked up to their house. Because I don't know squat about it, but some people have generators that kick on right when the power goes out, which thankfully that's how ours is at Heather's house, and it's a blessing. But some people like go in there and just somehow hook it up to their electric box.
Like I have it hooked up to my electric box, but now it's a like a miniature breaker box, and then there's a plug that goes to the generator. Recently, like last year, I just hooked up an extension cord to the pellet stove, and I kicked that on, And I was like, oh, that's all I need.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
That and the fridge.
That, and you know what? And I think we were done for power for like a day or two. And it was the end of the world. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We didn't have Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? It's like, and then we hooked up it was the fridge and the pellet stove. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the stuff, we were like, okay. I think we moved some stuff from the freezer, to my mom's. We started cooking, relatively soon. That way the food wouldn't go bad. But, it's like, hey,
and
look.
sometimes you can... Go ahead, sorry.
No.
I was going to say, sometimes you can put the stuff outside. Like, our sunroom isn't well insulated.
That's a good point.
So we'll put, like, soda and juice and, different stuff out there. We actually had a can of Diet Coke explode out there last year.
Really?
Yep. We just heard this loud pop. And we go out there, and there's frozen Diet Coke all over the ceiling.
That's
and
funny shit. That's funny. Yeah.
No, but that's funny when it's the dead of winter and the power goes out.
Yeah.
You step outside and everything is just silent.
Yeah.
Like the wind's not blowing, it's not snowing, you don't hear birds, you don't hear cicadas, you don't hear everything.
Yeah.
And that's just what I meant before when I was saying I appreciate all 4 seasons, because like in the summer, I work from home, so I'll spend hours on end inside working, and I'll finally get a break and I step outside. And it's just hot as shit, and it is so loud outside. Like even if I'm not paying attention to the bugs and the birds, it is just so loud. The heat, and you start to sweat like immediately. Mm-hmm. And then you step outside in the winter, and it's just silent.
Yep.
Like there's drastically different.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It's huge.
Yeah. Some people don't really get to experience that.
Yeah, the winter time is very very calm.
Mm-hmm.
The first year we were here, we've been here for 2 years now, just over 2 years, like 2 years and 3 months. And the first year I was here, I didn't have a generator. We just bought a house. We were dead broke. We saved up all of our money for the closing costs. And we lost power for like a week. Like, remember that big giant storm?
Yup.
And
that was like 8 days, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a long, long time, and I didn't have a generator, and, we were freaking out. We made it through, but, dude, there was like 3 feet of snow.
Yeah.
And now my house is only 10 years old. Looking back at what I told myself, hey, you don't got to do this. I had 3 feet of snow on my roof. So I was like freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Don't want my roof to cave in.
My dumbass was on my fucking roof, like fucking shoveling snow off my roof.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what the hell is this guy
The thing is, though, if you fell off, you would have been fine.
Exactly. Yeah, you got plenty of freaking cushion. Right?
Yeah.
But especially with all the snow like falling off, like instead of 3 feet, it's like 5 feet, 6 feet. But yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's a proactive measure.
I read a lot about like, there are these ice. What are they called? I'm butchering the name. I'll get it at the end. But like, basically, when your snow would melt. Mm-hmm. Like the next day, like finally be like 35 instead of 32, and then it would
refreeze.
It would refreeze, and then it would create like these pockets of like ice, and these things would, apparently they would ruin your roof.
Yeah, so they would the ice would expand under your shingles.
Exactly. Yeah. So I read about this, and I thought it was the end of the world. So my dumbass went on the roof and shoveled. But my point of this story is that my first year here, I learned a very valuable lesson that you need a fucking generator when you have a house.
Yep.
Bro, after that storm, I've always had a generator. I don't play any games. Yep. And dude, I think it was like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, and because it was a nor'easter, but it was rain. It was wind.
Yep.
And there was
that was nasty. I know exactly. Yeah.
They were on the O&R Facebook, and they were like, O&R is terrible. A lot of preemptive measures, could have helped. You could have cut some trees down. Yeah. Listen, lady. Fucking. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Public service announcement, motherfuckers. So let me tell you something. I'm in a rare mood tonight. If you've been in your house for longer than 2 fucking years and you don't have a generator, go fuck yourself. You need to get on fucking board. Get a generator. What are you doing?
Bro,
you're going home.
My parents have never had a generator.
Why?
I swear to God, they've never had one. Every time the power goes out, it's like no internet. You can't shower. We used to drive like 45 minutes to my brother's house, and we used to call him the Red Cross because he would feed us. We'd shower there. We'd go back home, recharge. Yeah. It blows my mind.
Like,
I don't know how people do it.
Like, I don't know how people do it. And, of course, I love my aunt and uncle. But, you know, it's like, dude, these people on Facebook, they're like, oh my God, but the thing is, your parents aren't like on Facebook like calling O&R to be
they're not blaming the company.
Burned down. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, look, it is what it is.
Yep.
You know, let's go to Ryan's and let's go to the Red Cross and get our meal and our shower.
That's like as if people in like Jamaica and Puerto Rico, those crazy ass storms, if they said, well, our government never put up good enough levees, you know, how can they do that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'll change my PSA to, if you're complaining about not having electricity and you don't have a generator, you're on the wrong side of the fence here.
Yeah.
You need to get a generator. You know what I mean? It took me I was in here for 1 year and I learned my lesson.
You probably had the biggest smile on your face the first time you had to use that.
Oh, I was like,
I got it.
We lost power. I was like,
you were the only guy excited to lose power.
What I mean?
Yeah.
But, jeez. It's like, come on, people like she wasn't even old. She was like 40s or 50s, and that's what she said. She goes, a lot of, you could have cut some trees down and it would have made it a little bit better. Lady,
yeah, come on, open your eyes.
You could go buy one for $400 or $500 to run the necessities.
Yeah, it doesn't have to power the whole house.
And you guys have a standby, so you're good.
Yeah, I love it. It turns on every Saturday to test itself. And,
your girlfriend's father worked for an electric company.
Con Ed. Yeah.
So it's like, he's a smart fella.
Yeah. Her uncles too, I think.
But yeah. Yeah. Ran over, but just buy a damn generator.
Yeah.
If you're complaining about it, I don't feel sorry for you anymore.
No. I hate like when you think of something to say and then it just poof.
Yeah, sorry.
Just goes. That. No. I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and I'll be like, oh, I wanted to say that. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do a Twitter edition of check the news.
Let's do it.
So I think that would be a lot easier and serious talking.
Yeah,
a lot easier and probably people see it as well. You know what I mean? Because I would say majority of people have Twitter, not everybody.
More people go on Twitter than like Google News or Yahoo News. Or
Let's get the nerd stuff out of the way.
All right.
So I mentioned this to you before, and you said no, you haven't. So BlizzCon is this weekend. And I'm very excited. I've bought the virtual ticket for BlizzCon for many, many, many years. Basically, BlizzCon is an event by Blizzard, company who owns World of Warcraft, and they own Hearthstone, they own Overwatch, and
Diablo.
Yeah. So they basically do big giant news, and they're releasing a new game, they're releasing new content,
future releases,
exactly.
Yeah, okay,
that kind of stuff at BlizzCon every year. And this one is rumored to be the biggest one yet, and it is. Wow. It's lining up. The new World of Warcraft expansion should be released. Overwatch 2 should be released, and then Diablo 4 should be released.
Really? Diablo 4?
Yep.
I might have to go buy a virtual ticket. What the hell?
So virtual tickets are like $50. And then also the Arena World Champions are on, and then the MDI Finals. Now, MDI is the Mythic Dungeon Invitational.
Yep.
So I'm big into Mythic Plus. I'm like, I just hit 2K IO last night. I hit 2200 last week. So I watch both religiously because I'm into it. I wouldn't say I'm like, on an elite scale, but I'm definitely into the competitive side, and I definitely excel with that. And that's why I enjoy watching, the best in the world do it.
Especially when you can break it down to strategies.
Oh, yeah.
Not to like get off topic, but in college, I played Dota more than anybody could ever imagine, more than people sleep. And, just breaking down those strategies and talking to my roommates and friends and trying to plan our own thing. Yeah. You had fun with it.
Oh my
so
God.
I'm sure you learn a lot and try to, maybe I don't want to speak for you, but, just get some tips and tricks.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I learned so much from them. We ran a 10 Tall Dazar today.
Yep.
Did you see me jump on that little section behind the pillar where all the birds port to?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I learned that from the big guys.
All the other three guys were like, what's he doing?
They were like, oh my God. That was incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, you learn the little tips and tricks from the pros. And that's why I just find it so intriguing. But anyway, the new World of Warcraft expansion should be released this week, or should be announced this weekend. Overwatch 2 should be announced, and then Diablo 4 should be announced. So
I was hearing the new and this is total, internet rumors, that the new World of Warcraft expansion was going to be based on the Lich King's son, or the Paladin, right?
Yes, so the Bolvar 4 dragon was burnt by the dragons at the Wrath Gate, and he was toast. His body was toast. So once we killed Arthas, someone had to take up the throne,
and he took it up,
and he took it. So now with this whole Sylvanas death theme about going to I don't know. Did you finish the war campaign?
I don't know.
Were you like a Sylvanas loyalist?
I'm trying to remember.
Were you like answering? You definitely would know it. So
okay,
it's like I won't get into it all, but to make a long story short, you could be a Sylvanas loyalist where you're like, screw Sourfang, or you could be like pro Sourfang, like Sylvanas is wrong and I'm a goody two shoes, and then you could be like the bad guy.
I think that's the last thing I did in the story was break Sourfang out of Stormwind, right?
Yes.
And then we went back and he disappeared, and that's the last thing I did. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So all of like the Sylvanas loyalists, all like the people who are like, True Horde, blah blah blah. You kind of got to see at the end of like the Makura cinematic, and at the end of that quest line that she is like, you will see me again. You'll finally understand why. This has to. Why all of this has to be. To make a long story short, it's rumored to be a Shadowlands, World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion, and the way that we get to the Shadowlands to defeat the old gods, like N'Zoth, who we're about to fight in the next content release, is through the Lich King.
Wow.
And so they just leaked new pictures. Blizzard did it by accident.
Really?
Yeah, they put it on the... they put the freaking photos, like, for sale on the Blizzard store. Like, what's today? Tuesday? So they put these on sale today. Meanwhile, BlizzCon is this weekend, and people...
That's so funny, because I'm sure there's so many other companies that worry about their info getting leaked and hacked and exploited and shown and exposed, but here they are doing it themselves.
Yep, they did it themselves, and they were, like, hoping that, like, people wouldn't, like, kind of...
pick up on it, yeah.
Yeah, and dude, people stalked.
Ate it up.
Oh my god! See, like this is one right here. This is a confirmed leak. World of Warcraft Shadowlands entered the Shadowlands. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And like that's the art for it. And then you have, this really cool one. That's of the Lich
That's
King.
the picture I saw. Yeah.
So I can't wait to.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. But that's how we get to the Shadowlands through the Lich King. So.
You know what I love about WoW is the cinematics, man.
Oh my god!
The cinematic
movies.
They really are. They're like 2 to 3 minutes, and the thing is, like, you watch those and you get goosebumps. You could know nothing about the story, the plot, nothing, and you watch them and you just get goosebumps. It's so good.
The Makura one, that was 6 minutes. That was the longest one they've ever made. That gave me ginormous goosebumps.
That's when you finish the war mode.
Yeah.
Damn, the war campaign.
Yeah.
Damn, I gotta finish that.
Dude, you haven't seen that.
No. We can watch it after this if you want.
All right, let's get to the real news here. So we're gonna check.
Geeking out.
We're gonna check the what's trending right now. See what's going on in the news. All right.
Just need to like get a string.
Yeah.
So we can just.
That'd be awesome. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But it's good. It gives them a few seconds that they don't have to see our ugly mugs anymore.
Yep.
Right. So we'll start with this. New research suggests rising seas may erase major coastal cities by 2050. Speaking of Tesla and...
I feel like that could be sooner, honestly.
Efficient.
I feel like that could be sooner, honestly, because especially in India and places that are below sea level. I've always had the hardest time understanding that. Like, parts of Long Island are below sea level.
Is that possible?
Right. Yeah, it's hard to wrap your head around it, but you look it up and that's what it says. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the yeah, I don't know. It's technology too. It's the way that they build certain things, and the dams, and not that there's dams on along the coast or whatever, but just the way they prop up, buildings, and it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
it
is
insane, and apparently Miami's going to be the first one to go. This is what I've been.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Miami.
That'd be a big hit. That's a big important city.
For sure. Here's another one. Is the new? There was going to be a Game of Thrones prequel.
Oh.
They casted Naomi Watts to be the lead role, and they axed it.
Oh, they did?
Yep. So
nothing could live up to Game of Thrones.
How are you going to live up to Game of Thrones?
That was easily the best cinematography I have ever seen in my life. God. I know we were just talking about the WoW cinematics, but this is just like, I remember watching it by myself. My palms were getting sweaty. I had to stand up. I was pacing like that. And I thought Breaking Bad was a good show, but Game of Thrones is by far, that takes the cake for me.
Dude, Corinne and I were watching the Battle of the Night, or whatever it was called.
The Dark Knight. No, it's not the Dark Knight.
You know which one? The one.
Yeah, in the last season.
Spoilers. The one where Arya stabs the guy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm literally sitting there, like, my hands on my head, and it's like moments before this goes down, like, or no, it was when the Night King was approaching Bran, and then what's his face?
Oh yeah.
Dickless ran up and
killed him. Theon. Dickless.
Shout out to Theon, though. He took over the team.
Yeah.
Really, without him, probably wouldn't have worked.
Tried to right all the wrongs he did.
But, yeah. But I'm sitting there, like, my hands in my head. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like, Bran's dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's nothing that we could do. And then something clicked in me, and I go, and I looked at Corinne, and I go, we haven't seen Arya. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, we haven't seen Arya in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then what do you know? She came and killed him. And, dude, when I'm telling you, I was screaming. Like, I just saw, like, Tom Brady live.
Yeah.
The touchdown in the Super Bowl. I was like,
yeah.
Like, there was nothing. Like you said, there was nothing like that cinematography.
Yep. The way he grabs her. And she drops it, and then she catches it. And
how did they think of that?
Yeah, and he just looks at her like, it's like a game of chess.
Boom.
Yep.
And then everything just stops. And then the wings behind Daenerys.
Yeah.
On like the second to last episode.
Yeah.
Or the last episode, that was incredible. I mean, just off the hook. I didn't like the way it ended.
Yeah.
I will say that.
So a lot
of people didn't.
Yeah, I've been asked this so many times. My take on it is like, I'm okay with the way the story progressed and ended, but I don't like the way the movie writers projected it.
Yeah.
That's what I don't appreciate. That the last season could have been so much better, and I even saw a quote from Kit, the guy that was playing Jon Snow, just saying like, the whole crew is tired of filming. The whole crew is tired of acting. They want to go home. It's been so long. Yeah. They're overseas from where they live, and like they were totally over it. Yeah. So, but that show is just so great.
It was incredible.
I bought HBO just to watch that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I ended up watching. Why do I want to say Cloverfield? It's not Cloverfield. What is that? The nuclear meltdown in Ukraine. Chernobyl. They have a show about Chernobyl on HBO, a 5-episode miniseries. Exactly. Wow, that was amazing. I would personally give that I'd give that a 4 out of 5. It was really good. It showed you how the USSR the Soviet Union tried to cover it up. What went wrong, how it was doomed from the day it was built, and it was crazy.
Shit is sad.
Yeah, it's very sad.
I'm Ukrainian, you know what I mean? My grandfather, came from Ukraine. Mm-hmm. On the back of the wagon, my dad told me the whole story, and that, just kind of watching. I didn't watch what you're talking about, but I obviously did, watch some documentaries on it and learning through it through school. And you're like, geez, man.
It's crazy. It didn't happen that long ago, really. It's very sad.
It just, Russia likes to cover shit up.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of governments do too.
I was going to say that.
Everyone tries to downplay shit, just so that they don't look stupid.
Yeah, and that's what it was too. I forget if it's like the second episode or the maybe it's the first or the second, but just how like all the big heads in the government come to meet, and the oldest guy in the room is silent for the whole meeting. Towards the end of the meeting, he speaks up and he's like, close all the borders, shut down all communications. We can't let this get out.
Yeah.
And when he said that, people in Sweden, all the way in Sweden, already detected the radioactivity. And they said something's not right. So they tried to communicate with everybody east. It's a crazy show. It's so good.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
It reminded me that came out. When did that come out?
Chernobyl?
Was that like the week of like Game of Thrones or something like that?
It was the week before or the week after.
Yeah, it was like right there. So I think that's why I like kind of ignored it, because I was like so wrapped up in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But now that you remind me about that, I should read.
Do you still have HBO?
They're probably getting my $12 a month or whatever it was without me knowing. So yeah, probably. I gotta watch that and cancel it.
I think it's worth it. That's what I did. I canceled it for Game of Thrones, and then I got it for a month back just to watch Chernobyl.
Yeah.
My somebody I know who grew up in communist Romania was telling me, even Romania government was telling their citizens, stay indoors. You shouldn't go outdoors, but they didn't tell them why.
Yeah.
So
scary shit.
It's
Isn't
nuts.
That happening here?
Imagine growing up in a communist nation.
Yeah,
what?
We lucked out, bro.
Yeah. I've always thought, you know what's crazy is even when I was a kid, I just thought, like, learning about geography, why was I born here?
I had the same thing.
Why was I born here in New York? And when you really look at it, why was I lucky?
Bro.
Yeah.
Think about the landscape.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, talk about communism. Bro, we could have ended up anywhere. We could have ended up in North Korea.
Could have ended up in China.
Oh, I take China. China's a vacation compared to North Korea.
Well,
of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
It's not let's be realistic. America's a vacation compared to China.
Yep.
But China's still not terrible, but they're overpopulated.
Yep.
They got so many problems. The government is we'll leave China's government out of it. But
my roommate in college did a paper sophomore year specifically about closing borders, and he wrote in that paper, if any country in the world had to close its borders without any reason, it would be China. Yeah, they could do it. They have the world's largest population.
Did you see that they had concentration camps for certain Muslims?
China? I did not know that.
Yeah, let's pull that.
Wow.
Up. Yeah, we're doing the iPhone pull up here. So so Muslims were imprisoned in China here. Let's get the full article so I'm not spreading any fake news.
Yeah, I'd like to know why.
Okay. Okay, so this is the latest. China said it closed the Muslim detention camps that were open. So basically, now I know the error of my ways, yada, yada, yada. So basically, China's government was trying to, take these Muslims and, get them away from that religion and try to make them better and, et cetera,
convert them. Literally convert them. Wow.
Indoctrination camps built to eliminate what is described as a threat of Islamic radicalism and anti-government sentiment among the overwhelmingly Muslim population of blah, blah, blah. Is in Xinjiang's region in China's northwest. So
they literally had camps trying to convert people to a different religion.
And we found it before they released it, and a lot of people pressured them because these photos were taken on drones. And,
wow.
They were concentration camps, and everyone's talking about the southern border and how they're these are concentration camps.
Oh, in the States, yeah.
Let me tell you something. Concentration camps, there's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's let's be realistic. I'm not saying that people on the southern border have anything, like that.
Yeah, that's not.
They have their own.
Yeah.
They have their own problems down there.
Yeah.
But concentration camps, these camps that these people are going through, you gotta say, hey, I'm not a Muslim anymore, or you're probably not gonna be on this planet.
See the sunlight again.
You know what I mean?
They don't get any rec time there.
That's scary kind of shit.
Yeah, it definitely is. And
then you have the other type of communism where,
guilty by association. In North Korea, if you're anybody in your family or somebody you really aren't even that close with, but you're associated with them, if they're considered guilty, you're considered guilty, and you go to a camp with them. Yeah. How insane is that?
It's incredible.
You could be a law-abiding citizen.
Look at Venezuela.
Yeah. I don't know much about their situation, but I know there's a lot of power grab issues.
Oh, I do.
Go ahead.
No.
I
only know a little bit. I'm just fucking with you. But, no.
Now reporting, Richard Hugel.
Yeah, right. No, the biggest thing is that, like you said, there's a lot of political, battling going on down there. But, dude, it was like a year before, it was big in the news is that the grocery store shelves were running out of bread. And then it was, food was taken over by the government. And then you had to go get, your rations. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
Imagine, like right now, you and I could go to Walmart and spend $50 and go get how much food?
We could spend...
junk food?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How much food could we get? And then these people are being rationed by their government. Hey, here is your amount of bread for the week.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, fuck that noise. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We're lucky.
Yeah.
Where we were born. And then, dude, we could be born, we just happen to be white in this lifetime. You know what I mean? We could have been, born, 200 years ago. And then, or you could be white now and then, there's white farmers in Africa getting killed, because of, they're white. Or like I said, we could have been black 200 years ago. We could have been slaves and, do the whole thing that way.
It's insane.
We really lucked out.
Yeah.
We really lucked out with being born in America in this time.
Yeah.
And, but the next one we're going to chat about, it's kind of, that's funny. It's kind of, we were just talking about Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones, the showrunners, David Benioff and DB, they don't really, that's kind of just how he goes. DB Weiss, they were supposed to do the Star Wars trilogy.
Okay.
And they just said that they're stepping away, citing that they have a full schedule, and they already signed a 9-figure deal.
Wow.
To make the films and TV with Netflix.
9 figures. Can you imagine just having that much money? And I hate that part of me, just to quickly jump to that, but just to have that much money.
Dude,
I don't know. I go back and forth with Star Wars because I remember binge watching it for a little bit and watching all the movies in a row, and I really loved it. But then when you step away from it and think back to it, it's, at least me personally, it's all right, well, there's so many loopholes. And now I saw a meme with the newest Star Wars. They have a horse cavalry riding in space. And I'm just that makes no sense. Yeah. But Disney did take it over. So the whole George Lucas... Actually, here's a fun fact. Did you know Steve Jobs helped George Lucas with the first 3 Star Wars movies?
Yeah.
Because
he was involved with Lucasfilms, right?
I don't know about Lucasfilms. I remember reading that George Lucas reached out to Steve Jobs because this was when after Steve got fired from Apple, which I can't even imagine that, getting fired from the company he started. He was working on Toy Story, the first animated movie, and Pixar, yep. And Star Wars had all of the layers to the movie. They had the actual actors, they had the background, they had the I don't know what to call them, monsters, the aliens or whatever. And George Lucas had to put all that to one layer. He had to compress all of it. When he did that himself, he had a lot of pixelated noise. So Steve Jobs gave him tips and tricks on what he did for Pixar's animation. And that's what George Lucas used in Star Wars to make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it when it's people who are successful help out other successful people.
Yeah.
It's
neat.
like what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. It's a little humbling. Yeah.
And not the wealth is in money, but just the knowledge. Like we were talking about before. That's cool. I wish.
There's a quote that's I don't want to butcher this. It's what is taught to you is easily forgotten, but what you teach, you'll never forget. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, because stuff you teach, it's you teach it to somebody, and then if you take a totally separate person, you want to teach it to them better.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it means more when you're teaching.
Yeah.
You want to see it, you want to see that person succeed in that,
Yeah.
Because that kind of not pats you on the back, but it confirms that, hey, what I'm teaching, there's actually some substance to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to teach people what works for you. You don't want to teach people stuff that, and of course you wouldn't teach something to somebody that makes them miserable, but I'm just saying, like, parents who have kids, and I am not a parent, so I could be stepping out of my comfort zone here, just leading by example. You don't want to inadvertently teach something to your kid that isn't useful to them, something that could incite anger or frustration, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to teach them useful things, stuff that'll work for them.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll try one more.
Okay.
See what I could. Oh, you know what we'll close out on?
What?
UFC 244.
What's that?
This Saturday.
Yeah? Who's fighting?
Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal.
Nate Diaz is fighting?
Yep.
Wasn't Nate really messed up? Didn't he, wasn't he in the hospital or something? Or no? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
I think you're thinking of someone else.
Okay.
He got popped a week ago for, if anyone's into MMA or UFC or, you know, etc. He just got popped a week ago for by USADA, which is the organization that it's the organization that kind of overlooks all of the UFC to see if anyone's on drugs. They do all the testing, and, you know, blah blah blah. So a week ago, you know, the fight's this Saturday. A week ago, USADA says, "Hey, Nate Diaz popped for an illegal substance."
Oh no!
So everyone was losing their shit, right? Twitter was in an uproar in the MMA world, and if like Nate Diaz is a vegan,
okay,
so he doesn't even eat meat, and Nate Diaz has been a champion of like anti-steroids. Like he's whooped someone's ass in the octagon, and then he gets on the mic and he's like, "Oh, you motherfuckers are on steroids." You know what I mean? Like he's like so anti-steroids.
So this is a surprise to people.
So it was a big surprise, and he put out a thing because again he's supposed to fight Saturday. He's like, "I'm not fighting on Saturday." You know, a lot of people were reporting that he wasn't suspended. That this may have been a fluke, and he wasn't suspended. And he was like, "If you guys," basically said, "if you guys don't clear my name, I'm not fighting on Saturday."
Okay.
Even though I'm not suspended, but now people are gonna think that I'm on the juice. You guys better clear my name, otherwise I'm not fighting on Saturday. So USADA and the UFC released a joint statement saying that it was like a root of some sort that created like an all natural supplement made out of some root and
create a false positive.
It created like a raised level of, you know, some, you know, ingredient, and you know, that there was no provisional ban, that you know, there's no you know, performance enhancement to it. So
he's in the clear,
and they're fighting Saturday. So
wow, what time is that?
It's a big one.
Do you know?
I think the main card should start at.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They always have a series of fights, and it depends how long those take.
But yo, what a card! Oh my God, you have there's a big one that I'm looking forward to. Gregor Gillespie. He's from Long Island.
Okay.
Big wrestler. 155 pounder. He's 13-0. And he's from Long Island, and he's like going up against this guy who's been like having like a rough past few fights, but he talks so much shit. I just want to see him get fucking knocked out or choked out. And Gregor Gillespie, like I said, I'm a big wrestling fan. I used to wrestle, so you know it's cool to see a big wrestler, you know, succeed. So I'm hoping that my man, the wrestler,
dude, I don't know. Speaking of people talking shit and Gregors, I saw a video of Conor McGregor announcing that he's going to be fighting in January, and I don't know. He talks a lot of shit, and he looks so damn stupid doing it.
Yeah,
he's got all the money in the world, but he looks stupid doing it.
Doesn't it?
But when he's in the octagon, and when he was fighting Mayweather, dude, I love it when he fights. That's the thing. Like, he's a shitty person most of the time.
Yeah.
And he talks a lot of shit, but I love when he fights.
Yeah.
And I tried explaining it to Heather how just he got 2 different belts in 2 different weight classes, and not a lot of people do that. He might be the only one. I don't know.
Yeah, he was at the time.
Yeah.
They're now 4.
Okay.
They're now 4. Since Conor was the first. He was the original champ. Then it was like DC, Amanda Nunes, and then I think
DC.
Cejudo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. DC's has like an asterisk to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like John Jones like got popped for
steroids.
steroids.
That's right.
He had to give up the belt, and then DC got the belt, and then he won the heavyweight championship.
Oh.
So I was like, you know,
Okay, he wiggled his way in
but
there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's still a champ, but he still wiggled his way.
It's like a garbage goal in soccer. It still counts.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no. To your point is, I love the way Conor fights. But now just kind of seeing how MMA has evolved, where a lot of grappling is huge, and Khabib just smothered him, wrestled him to the ground,
dude.
Kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like there's different levels to the game now. Back when 4 years ago, when Conor was champ, he was just knocking everyone out, and the whole wrestling thing wasn't it wasn't on that on that level yet. It was just he was just knocking everyone out. People were strikers. He was good. He's amazing at striking.
Yeah,
he could possibly be one of the best.
I'm just excited to see who he's gonna fight. What if it's Khabib again?
It's not gonna be Khabib.
It's not.
January 18th. Khabib is up.
Is he still banned or something?
The UFC just released it that Khabib is fighting Tony Ferguson.
Oh, Tony
In
Ferguson.
the first quarter of 2020, which is overdue. They were meant to fight. They're both on like a 13-win streak in the same division.
Tony's gotten messed up before. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. That should be a good fight, though.
Should be a great fight.
Yeah.
Tony doesn't get tired. Kicks the shit out of people. Nasty on the ground. He's trained by Eddie Bravo.
Yep.
And 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
That's good.
And but Khabib, man.
I know, but that might be the challenge for Khabib is somebody else who's nasty on the ground. Because watching that fight, man, once he got Conor to the ground, it was over.
He was pummeling his face in. And they choked him out. Jesus.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a choke on. He was just cranking his face.
Yep. Yep.
But anyway, yeah, he's like you said, he's very entertaining to watch. But he could definitely lay off the confidence outside of the cage.
Yep. Agreed.
Just humbled up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what a lot of money will do to you.
Yeah.
Amazing fucking whiskey though, man.
Yeah, that stuff's good.
Tasty.
Some vanilla Coke. Have you tried it with vanilla Coke yet?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good.
Vanilla Coke, vanilla cherry Coke.
Oh, that's what it was. No, now Coca-Cola has, they're selling all their flavored Coke. They have orange vanilla Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, I don't fuck with that.
No?
No.
Okay.
I like the orange.
Okay. I was going to say I tried that with Proper 12.
How was it?
It was good.
It was good?
Yeah, it was good. But just my preference now is just vanilla Coca-Cola with Proper 12.
Whole orange.
I haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in November. Dude, next week we should.
Yeah.
We should.
My birthday's coming up.
Yeah. When is your birthday for the people?
November 10th,
Okay.
Sunday.
So not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we might have to do so. The next
What's that?
podcast we should.
11 days, 10 days.
Next podcast we should definitely drink
Uh-huh.
because it's November. It's not October anymore.
Yeah?
And then maybe maybe not on your birthday, but we should
The
do
Tuesday after my
the
birthday.
Tuesday after. We'll
Yeah.
do like a little. Maybe we'll sing you something, or we
Yeah.
might get a little cake for you here on the podcast.
Hey, man.
That'd be
Thanks.
cool. A little special edition. But yeah, that's it. The camera just went out.
Yeah, it's
So
actually dying.
That's a beautiful segue into us saying good night and
The
goodbye.
outro.
Thanks for tuning in again.
Yeah, thanks for those who listen. We really appreciate it. And the fact, if you're listening to this right now, it means you stuck around to the end.
Yeah.
Or fast forwarded, you little cheater.
Yeah, right.
But thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you're rewatching this on a replay, we appreciate it as well. And leave a comment. If there's anything that you guys want us to chat about, feel free to comment on the YouTube channel or send us a DM on the No Street Lights Podcast Instagram or comment on the pictures. We're going to be showing a couple pictures tonight as well. Kind of advertising the replay. And I think one of the photos should definitely be, maybe of your car.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
But we'll see. Anyway, love you folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
Peace.